Hi everybody, it's Danny here from Handmade Papercraft. Today I am working with Whimsy stamps and I am using one of the digital stamps from the We Stamps May release. This is Betty and Bob. I think this is a gorgeous little image and I did print out a couple and I've coloured a couple of them up, so I look forward to sharing with you a couple of cards with this image. So it is a digital stamp, so I've got it printed out onto some Express It blending card and I'm colouring him and her up using Copic markers. So this image is quite a detailed image, so there is a lot of colouring involved. I've sped up the video a little bit, but I didn't speed it up too much, so if you want to skip the colouring you're more than welcome to, but please watch the colouring. It's awesome to watch the details that go into these little stamps. So I've pulled in a few different blends that I don't normally use, which is always fun as well. So I'm using some YR markers to give that little peachy orange colour. So I've used YR 01, 02 and 04, and now I'm going in with some blue markers. I'm using the BGs. So I've also used some yellow markers as well. I will have all of these listed on my blog, so underneath this video there will be a link to my blog and you can go and check all those out there. There will also be a full product list of all the products and links to the image, etc. This dark blue BG09 marker is absolutely stunning, and it's really great when you start blending because it loses a lot of that darkness and it blends in beautifully. So I love the way this marker works. I was a little worried thinking, oh crap, I've added way too much darkness to this image, but as you can see it blends out really well. So and if you did want to keep that darkness in, you can go back in and just add another layer in, but it's gorgeous just the way that it is. So adding in a few little details here and there, going in onto his little wings and blending everything out, adding in some extra details, going back in with some of my light BG markers, blending all that out. And I needed to go back in, I didn't do one of those sections, so I've just gone back in and done that with the YR markers. Sometimes you start colouring and that's where you start seeing the little bits that you have missed. So I'm going in now with some red markers. I did want to colour that chocolate box in with some red markers. As much as it was Valentine-y, I wanted to use some, I did originally want to use pink markers, but it was going to blend in too much, so I wanted it to stand out. So I'm going in with my white gel pen just to add a few little details here and there. And now we're going to move on. I'm giving him a nice brown crafty kind of button to his belly there. And I'm doing the same colour on the buttons on her little boots. Okay, so my dragon is now done. We're going to start working on the little girl. So I'm using some of my standard skin tones, E0000, 2111, E04 and R20. There isn't a lot of skin tone, but if you just lay down a very small amount of each colour, you're still able to use all of the colours that I use. I thought she would be cute with a little denim jacket, so I'm going in using some of my dark B markers. So I'm using B95, 97 and 99. Again, it is a very small area, so just make sure you're laying down only a small amount of each colour. So I'm trying to use a few of the markers that I have used in the dragon to blend everything in together. So I'm blending in by using some of the yellows that I've used on the dragon. And now I'm going in with some R markers to do her little dress and her boots. Giving her some little grey white stockings and then adding some details to her boots and her outfit using my gel marker. I didn't catch her hair on video, I do apologise. My camera always seems to die and I'm so much in a little dream that I forget to check my camera. So now we're going to move on to putting the card together. So I am using papers from the Papercraft Bow and Arrow 6.5 inch pad. This is one of my newly found in my stash paper pads. I do have quite a few of my little paper pads stashed up the top of my cupboard. And I'm slowly working my way through them. So here I'm just fussy cutting out part of the dragon's antler, not sure what you will call it, just so that I'm able to slide it through the die and not trim it off. and then I just ran it through a Lawn Fawn stitched circle die, and then I've done the same thing again with a black American Crafts cardstock. So I'm also going to pop out some of these little bits and pieces from the paper pad. I thought it would be cute to use a few different layers on her. Cutting down some strips as well. And I do end up cutting this little sentiment down. It was a little bit too big for where I wanted to put it, but you can still see the definition of those sides, which I think is awesome. I didn't lose a lot of those details. Going in with my Helma acid-free liquid adhesive. That is my go-to for liquid adhesives these days. And just going to adhere everything down. So that's pretty much complete, just cutting off all of the edges, and then I'm going to adhere it down to a Kucha Creations card base, just using that same liquid adhesive. I'll decorate the inside of the card as well. I did decide at the last minute to add a little flower down. I've just used the Helma 450 quick dry glue just to make sure that that didn't move. I didn't want to have to wait for my card to be dry either. So this glue is fantastic. I thank you all for watching, and I definitely hope to see you all soon. Bye.